French President Emmanuel Macron will not be able to win over the Gilets Jaunes. After weeks of protests and riots, and I might say that's protests from the Gilets Jaunes and riots from the opportunists taking advantage of the situation, after weeks of this happening, after hundreds of thousands of people taking to the streets, Macron has finally released a statement. He's finally addressed the fact that Paris is literally on fire. And of course, before he got around to addressing the nation on camera, he did send out EU-branded tanks or military vehicles, but basically tanks, onto the streets of Paris to control the people. They fired rubber bullets, people lost eyes, he tear gassed his own people. People have even been killed, hundreds wounded on the streets, many arrested, all because of these protests and the fact that Macron didn't want to listen. He cares more about taxing his people to death. So when Macron finally got in front of the camera to address these problems, looking like a deer in the headlights, you know, that kind of look, nobody took him seriously. And why should they? Because in his address, Macron acknowledged that people had anger and indignation, and he said that their concerns were deep and in many ways legitimate. Well, thank you very much, Mr. Macron. He went on to defend his actions. He said that he stood for election to shake up the system. That he definitely did, but that he will respond to the economic and social urgency with strong measures by cutting taxes more rapidly, by keeping our spending under control, but not with U-turns. And there lies the problem, not with U-turns. That means he's not changing his mind. He said before he's not going to back down. He told protesters, come and get me. They certainly did go and get him. He simply isn't listening to the people, no matter what he tries to portray on the television screen. The people don't want to be taxed to death. They don't want to be taxed so much that they can't afford to run their petrol or diesel cars, their diesel cars that they've been told to buy over the years because they were more economical. They don't want to live in this society where they're constantly bullied into submission. And many parts of France have no public transport, so the only way to get around is with their cars. So this carbon tax was the straw that broke the camel's back, and he won't listen. He won't make a U-turn. He did try and do something, though. Let's give him some credit. He announced that the minimum wage will rise by 100 euros per month, which is something probably needed. People really are struggling to get by. I wonder, though, whether the problem is a lack of jobs rather than low wages. Who knows? And taxes on overtime pay will also be abolished as of the 1st of January, weeks way ahead of schedule. He's also scrapped a tax hike that pensioners were going to face. So he's made a few concessions there. Interestingly, though, he refused to reinstate a wealth tax that was placed on the assets of people who have more than £1.1 million worth of assets, something that the people seem to want. It's what the people of France want. While the poor are being taxed too much and paid too little, it seems like the rich are getting tax cuts, and that's definitely what people told me when I was out in Paris. The majority of the French people simply aren't happy, and they think that Macron is just a president for the elites. Having met the Gilets Jaunes in person during their protests, I think I can safely say that no matter what Macron does, he's not going to be able to please the Gilets Jaunes anytime soon. Many people told me that this movement has gone beyond taxes, and the only way they will ever stop protesting is if Macron goes and leaves as president and replaced with someone else. And they aren't just angry about being taxed, they're angry about the whole damn system. What I kept hearing from people over in France was they were fed up. This isn't a happy people. They're angry about mass immigration. They're angry about their taxes being used to fund mass immigration. So the taxes that they are having taken from them by the government are being used for all the wrong things. Many people are even calling for their own version of Frexit. So no, Macron, your platitudes aren't going to work this time. And if you'd like to see the full reports on this story about why people hate Macron so much, about why people are so angry, then you can go to rebelfrance.com. I've got many reports there from when I was in France, in Paris, not too long ago. You can see all my reports, all my interviews with the Gilets Jaunes, find out exactly why people are unhappy with Macron. And if, of course, you'd like to chip in to cover the costs of that, then you can do so there as well. So go to rebelfrance.com, and thanks for watching. If you want to see more from me and the rest of the Rebel team, be sure to download the brand new app from the Google Play Store and the Apple App Store.